He walked into Judge Caprio's courtroom as though he were trudging into his own bedroom, lazy, careless, entitled. His baseball cap was pulled low over his eyes, headphones dangled slackly from his ears, and in his hand was his phone, glued there, never once lifting his gaze. The reason this privileged young man had been hauled into court. His third reckless driving charge in just 6 months. This time, he was speeding through a school zone at 70 miles per hour, all while live streaming to his social media followers. On his way in, he likely thought, sit for 10 minutes, endure an old judge's lecture about responsibility, then have dad sign a check, and this whole unpleasant scene will turn into paperwork. But when Judge Caprio began reviewing his record, the laughter at previous judges, the court hearings treated like content for social media, the utter lack of remorse for endangering children, Leo's sense of entitlement was exposed in full. Even as his sentence was being read, he sat there playing with his phone, treating the courtroom like a cafe, completely ignoring the judge. Of course, nobody missed it, especially not Judge Caprio. What came next turned into one of the harshest reality checks in courtroom history. This spoiled rich kid would receive a punishment no amount of money could scrub away. This was the moment privilege finally collided with real justice. If you've watched this far, don't click away just yet. Sit back, like the video, because what you're about to witness is the trial of spoiled privilege standing before unshakable justice. Yeah, whatever. That dismissive response, given Thursday afternoon at 2:15 p.m. in Providence Municipal Court, sealed his fate. The bailiff called out, "The state of Rhode Island versus Leonardo James Winchester." A young man shuffled, not walked, into Judge Caprio's courtroom, hoodie brand new and expensive, designer sneakers that could fund a vacation, posture of someone who has never known real consequences. Instead of going to the defendant's table, he ambled as if he were heading to grab lunch between classes. Judge Caprio looked up from his bench with calm authority and the patience he extends to all who stand before him. "Good morning, Mr. Winchester." Leo didn't look up. He didn't say, "Good morning." He didn't even say, "Your Honor." He muttered, "Yeah, whatever," a grunt more suited to someone pausing a game than addressing a judge. When the charges were read, reckless driving in a school zone at 73 miles per hour in a 25-mile-per-hour zone, a third such offense in 6 months, Leo only kept scrolling through his phone. Occasionally his thumb flicked the screen as he liked a post or answered a message. "Just tell me what the fine is," he shrugged. "My dad's accountant will transfer the money. We can all move on." But this was no drive-through. This was a court of law. When asked to put his phone away and pay attention, he glanced up for 2 seconds before returning to his screen. "I'm dealing with important stuff here," he said. "Just tell me what I owe and let me bounce." Judge Caprio's expression hardened. He paused. The silence in the courtroom grew heavy. Leo laughed. Mid-text. "Jail time," he scoffed. "My dad gives more to this city than most people pay in taxes. You know how this works. You give me a lecture, I nod, dad signs a check, everyone pretends justice was served." The courtroom went still. Even the court reporter stopped typing. That casual contempt, that brazen display of privilege, was his undoing. Judge Caprio reviews Leo's file more closely and points out that in previous court appearances he received suspended sentences and reduced fines, yet he has learned nothing from those experiences. Leo, still texting without looking up, dismissively replies that he learned money solves problems and calls the whole situation expensive theater. Judge Caprio reminds him that he was driving recklessly through a school zone and could have killed someone, but Leo shrugs it off, saying nobody was hurt and nothing really happened. When told he endangered innocent children, Leo briefly looks up with boredom, claims he knows how to drive, insists the street was empty, and argues his car's safety features would protect everyone anyway. Judge Caprio states it was 3 o'clock on a school day, but Leo responds that he didn't see any kids and returns to his phone, maintaining that his wealth and status matter in how laws are enforced. He openly says rich people get better treatment and that this is how the world works. Judge Caprio firmly tells him that in this courtroom, wealth means nothing and only behavior and attitude matter. Leo rolls his eyes, asks to speed things up because he has plans, and continues ignoring the court. Judge Caprio then stands, commanding the room's attention, and orders Leo to look at him, but Leo keeps scrolling, asking for a moment to finish a text. Despite repeated demands to put the phone down and show basic respect, Leo sighs and refuses, claiming his friend's crisis is more important. Judge Caprio's patience finally breaks as he warns Leo that he is facing criminal charges and treating the courtroom like his living room. Leo smirks, insists rich kids do not go to jail for traffic offenses, and the courtroom gasps. Judge Caprio orders him to put the phone away or face contempt, to which Leo reacts with genuine shock, claiming taking his phone would violate his rights. Judge Caprio makes it clear that Leo's right to use personal electronics ends the moment he enters the courtroom and shows open disrespect for the proceedings. Reluctantly, Leo pockets his phone, though his posture makes it obvious he finds the order absurd and demands that everything be done quickly. Remaining on his feet and commanding the full attention of the room, Judge Caprio explains that because of Leo's lack of remorse, repeated reckless behavior, and contemptuous attitude, he intends to impose penalties serious enough to challenge his sense of entitlement. When Leo casually suggests sending the bill to his father's office, Judge Caprio announces a $5,000 fine for reckless driving in a school zone, payable by Leo personally. Confused and irritated, Leo asks why his father cannot pay, only to be told that as an adult, he must face the consequences himself. The situation escalates further when Judge Caprio suspends Leo's driving privileges for a full year, finally forcing him to pay full attention as he protests that he needs his car for school and work. Judge Caprio responds that public transportation is available, reminding Leo that buses and trains are used daily by ordinary citizens, the same people whose children Leo endangered. When Leo reacts with visible disgust at the idea of riding the bus and insists his father's lawyers will overturn the sentence, Judge Caprio delivers the final blow. Due to Leo's contempt for ordinary people and public services, he is sentenced to 150 hours of community service cleaning and maintaining the city buses he will be using for the next year, a decision that leaves the courtroom buzzing and Leo completely stunned. Leo's mouth falls open so wide it seems unbelievable as he repeats the sentence in disbelief, unable to comprehend that he is being ordered to clean buses. Judge Caprio calmly explains that every Saturday morning for the next year, Leo will report to the Municipal Transportation Department at 6 a.m. and spend 8 hours scrubbing the same buses used by the regular people he so openly disdains. The reality triggers an immediate meltdown as Leo protests that 6 a.m. on Saturdays is unreasonable, insists he cannot do manual labor, and panics at the thought of being seen by others. Judge Caprio responds sternly that being seen doing honest work may be exactly what Leo needs to develop character and empathy. Enraged, Leo leaps to his feet, knocking his chair and dropping his phone, and threatens lawsuits and appeals through his father. Unmoved, Judge Caprio states that the sentence will stand until every hour of service is completed and Leo proves he can treat others with basic respect. When Leo accuses the court of discriminating against him for being wealthy, Judge Caprio cuts him off, explaining that the punishment is for recklessness, entitlement, and contempt for human life, not for money. As Leo angrily refuses and insists his father will fix everything, Judge Caprio delivers the final warning. Leo's driving privileges will remain suspended indefinitely, and missing even one Saturday of community service will extend the suspension to 2 full years. Staring in shock, Leo finally begins to realize that his father's money cannot make this consequence disappear. Leo protests that the sentence isn't fair, claiming that other kids only get warnings or small fines when caught speeding. Judge Caprio points out that other kids show remorse and don't treat court proceedings like a social media break while displaying contempt for everyone, including the judge. Desperate, Leo pleads that he's truly sorry and promises never to speed again, offering to pay any fine, begging not to be made to clean buses in front of people. Judge Caprio leans forward, unyielding, reminding Leo that just 30 minutes earlier he claimed money solves everything and that wealthy people deserve special treatment under the law. His words now mean nothing because they come after the consequences have been set. Leo's desperation escalates as he insists he respects ordinary people and loves public transportation, even trying to offer a huge donation to the city to prove his remorse. Judge Caprio responds firmly that Leo will learn that respect, responsibility, and character cannot be bought. He must serve every hour of his sentence, pay his fine personally, and ride public transportation for a year. Perhaps then he'll be ready to contribute to society instead of being a burden. The once arrogant Leo Winchester leaves court facing a year of Saturday mornings at 6 a.m., scrubbing buses alongside the maintenance workers he has long looked down on, continuing to protest that the sentences, slavery, and cruel and unusual punishment. Within hours, video of his meltdown goes viral, earning him the hashtag #busboyleo as classmates and the internet mock him mercilessly. His father's attempts to appeal fail spectacularly, with higher courts noting the video as evidence of Leo's behavior and praising Judge Caprio's restraint. Ultimately, Leo learns a lesson money can't buy: humility, earned the hard way while cleaning buses.